Okay, so before I get a chance to jump in this video, let me first take a few moments of your life and pretty much thank each and every single one of you from the bottom of my heart for all of the amazing support that you guys have shown me for the past days, basically, weeks, months, maybe even years at this point. It's so surreal to be in this position right here, and I'm pretty sure that there's at least a few of you wondering, what the hell is this guy even talking about? Well, we just reached 100,000 subscribers here on YouTube right about now. Well, not really about now, it was pretty much this morning for me, so quite a long time ago, but this is so insane that I'm pretty much speechless at this point. I'm not even sure what to say, so this intro is pretty much ruined. Maybe it's not important for other people, but for me it is absolutely crazy that we managed to build this strong, connection between us. We all play the same games that we love, we all enjoy the same type of content, and I am so grateful that I can basically share this with even one person, let alone 100,000 of you. So thank you so much for everything that you have done for me and putting me where I am today. And also there's going to be a special celebration video coming. I want to kind of give all of this love that I received and give it back, but I want to do it properly, so it's gonna be a little bit more waiting, but I hope you guys are going to appreciate it. Anyway, I think that it is fitting that I'm covering No Man's Sky as my first video after reaching 100,000 subscribers, because this is the reason why I am even here. This is the game that basically launched my channel and the game which I grew up with, so this is it. Even though I'm kind of old at this point, so I didn't actually grow up with it. I'm old as hell, I'm gonna die any day now. But anyway, I want to give my impressions over the update, over the things that I like, that I love, but also over the things that Hello Games could probably improve, hopefully in the near future. So I'm gonna start things off with the obvious right here, which is this crazy beast behind me. The one thing that I never expected to ever happen. There was probably some people out there expecting it to happen. Personally, I was completely blown away when I saw it. So whoever at Hello Games came up with this idea right here is an absolute madman. I'm not sure if it was Sean Murray himself, I'm not sure if it was the intern over there or maybe the janitor, but this was a bold move that definitely paid off. It might not be the exploration update that we are, kind of hungry for, but it is something that distracts me at the very least in the meantime. Like, I'm not gonna care if I don't have any planets to explore. I don't care about that. I can just look at this fine ass ship. I don't care about the planets anymore. I'm not even like landing on planets anymore because of this ship. I'm just kidding, but this is a good distraction in the meantime, and I'm gonna give props to Hello Games for the way they've implemented it, for the art style, for the way it behaves, and this doesn't just go for like the 3D models, for its unique aesthetics and like all of it that you can see visually, but also about the way it functions. Like, there's so much about this that has changed compared to everything we've known so far in the game. Like, the way you get upgrades is significantly different, the way you feed your ship is significantly different. You can even like upgrade many of these upgrades. We can upgrade upgrades, and this doesn't even begin to include the fact that you actually build this from scratch and kind of make it your own, so it truly feels like it is yours. Now, does that mean that everything about it is perfect? Well, not really, and here is where I'm going to mostly refer to the main story, the Starbirth mission. I kept saying it for the past couple of days, and for some reason I still forgot its name. It's not because the story isn't good, the lore behind this is absolutely stellar, so Italian sounds right there. But the thing about this is that there were a few things that Hello Games could have probably, improved or think about again before releasing it, because there's one small little thing about this update that kind of irks me as well as many other players out there, which is the damn 24-hour timer. I think that this should be removed as soon as possible, or if not removed, at the very least just reduced to about 6 hours, 4 hours. That is a good enough timer in my opinion, and besides, most of the people who already got the ship didn't get it the legit way. I'm not gonna lie, that includes even me. I skipped the timer like everybody else, and that reason is because that timer has no place in a game like No Man's Sky, and there should be something instead of it. It's not a huge inconvenience. Oh yeah, by the way, just let me pay my protection fee right here. Like, these guys have been haggling me for like ages. Like, I keep bleeding money because these gags are like all over me. So yeah, don't take any loans from loan sharks, by the way, especially if they're gag. But anyway, to go back on track, the living ship in its current form is just insane, and it's going to become even more insane once the experimental branch is going to go live. And I hope they are going to fix these asteroid explosions, because these seem to be pretty bugged at this point. This brings me, of course, to the second point, the second thing about this update that I kind of want to review, which is, of course, the new random encounters. And I think that Hello Games again hit the nail in the head with this very feature right here, because it basically addresses the one section of the game that was the most boring, uneventful, and, well, just filled with dead time: the pulse driving. As you can see right here, I mean, in the previous versions of the game, you would just like go from one planet to another, and you would start, you know, this pulse drive, and then look at your screen like a complete sucker for like 1 to 2 minutes, depending on the travel time. Sometimes less, maybe only like 10 seconds or 30 seconds. But let's admit it, if any of your relatives came into your room and they looked at you just looking at a screen doing the same thing for 2 minutes, they would probably think that there's something wrong with their son. Now when you go in and do these pulse drive, something like this can happen. What is this, you might ask? I don't know, I don't care what it is, maybe something with the Atlas in this case, but it can be a million other things, or maybe not a million other things. It could be like 10 or 20 other things. I've counted them, so there's a nice variation of random encounters that can happen. Like in this case, I can talk with this thing, I can find a bit more about the lore, or there's other situations where I might encounter something that might reward me some valuable trade goods that I might sell for a nice profit. Now, does this mean that everything about this feature is perfect? Does this mean that Hello Games should just leave it like as it is right now? Well, not really. There are a few things that they could improve about this very feature. Well, for example, a lot of these encounters don't feel particularly interesting. Like, we saw the one with the Atlas, that was interesting, it gave me a little bit of piece of a lore, but eventually, as I will encounter more and more of these, that will become a little bit, you know, less interesting as time goes by and I keep finding the same things over and over again. There's also a few other encounters that don't particularly do anything, like even give you a dialogue option. So yeah, I think that this could be improved slightly in the future. It doesn't have to be done in this update. This is a great start, but this is something that I would love to see being expanded upon in the future. Anyway, on a final note, I'm also going to mention the space NPCs, something that was actually determined a long time ago. So it finally happened. You can go into space, do like a pulse drive, and just like the random encounters, encounter one of these trader NPCs pretty much coming in front of you and contacting you. They can contact you for various reasons. Sometimes they might request some help, like for example requesting some help with repairing their ship, case in which they will give you something cool, like for example some standing with the current faction that you're in, as well as some nanites, but otherwise they can also act as traders, as in you can go in and actually do some trading with them. Well, a few things that I like about this is the fact that it actually gives you access to a few materials that are actually a little bit more difficult to find, especially those relics, gag relics, Viking daggers, since these are extremely useful at, you know, using for finding portals. So that is a huge plus for me. That is like basically my main way of getting these right now instead of wasting my time finding a trading post. So big plus from me on this very fact. There was also supposed to be something like helping them from combat, so maybe there's like an NPC escaping a pirate attack and it was supposed for them to like come in, request your help, and you help them out by clearing out the enemies. I didn't see that happening yet, so I'm not sure if it's in the game files now or if it's just, you know, data mined or whatever, but I would love to see more to these encounters in the future as well. Anyway, I could go on and on. Of course, there's also some of the quality of life changes, especially the split stack. For me, this ability has been added recently and it's so much of a game changer for me. I can pretty much split anything in half and not have to worry about you know, those stack sizes anymore, especially when I'm doing like my farming stuff and whatever. But there's also like the evolve upgrades that has just been added on experimental, and many more in the update note. Now the overall rating that I'm gonna give the update is going to be a B plus or an A minus, mainly because like most of the updates before this, Hello Games keeps releasing these updates with certain bugs, and that wouldn't normally be a problem if they didn't cause so many big issues like game breaking bugs, sometimes even progression hindering bugs that have definitely affected quite a number of people in the past few days. Of course, many of them have been quickly dealt with, but they still happened, and many players, you know, might leave the game in frustration when they could otherwise just go in and enjoy it. But otherwise, that's it from me right now. Again, thank you so very much for everything that you've done for me and for this channel, and yeah, I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. So peace out, everybody.